Joe Hopkins here, and I'm here to talk about 7-gauge strings. Will they make you a better guitarist? Are they any good? What will they do for you? I did a review on these a while ago, right? They're the Billy Gibbons Texas Lottery brand guitar strings, but pretty much any 7-gauge strings, right? I'll put a link to my initial review here. But here, I've been playing with them for a while, right? And, 7-gauge. Yeah. So, what are they good for, right? Well, I'll tell you the goods, the upsides, the downsides, the good, the bad. No, they won't make you a better guitarist. But the stuff you can do, they're going to make you more able in some ways. I can tell you, since I put these, I put them on this guitar here, my Firefly FFLP. And I play faster. They're faster. They just are. Running 7-gauge strings means you can lower the action a bit. Now, a little bit of a warning, if you want the intonation to be correct, right, you got to redo it. Mine is still a little bit off. I intonated it with 10-gauge strings and then went to 7s. I haven't really messed with it much. It's not that far off, but if you want it perfect, if you're like anal like that, yeah, you got to redo the intonation and change the setup a little bit. It does change some things. But in general, they are faster. I got to give it that, right? Yeah, I do play a bit faster. Seems like they're a little bit better on the pinch harmonics. You know what I mean? Not overly much. It's not super noticeable, but if you change to them, you do notice it a little bit. You bend to the heavens. I mean, good Lord, you can bend. Yeah, there's a lot of bendiness on these. Yeah, these strings got a lot of bend to them. Well, they're thinner strings. They feel a lot more elastic in that way. So, no, they won't make you a better guitarist, but they will enable you to do some things you can't do with thicker gauge strings. The downside. This is the downside, and take this for what it's worth. I'm used to playing acoustic a lot. And I'm used to playing on heavier gauge acoustic guitar strings. And when I do play electric, which I also do quite often, I'm used to heavier gauge strings. So they took some getting used to. And even now, like I'm like fumbling a bit with it. I think I don't know if you can tell, it is a little harder, especially on the higher strings, And a big part of that is because of how much thinner they are, I don't really feel them as much. I don't feel these strings as much at all. Like, whenever I pick up a guitar with 7-gauge strings, it takes me a couple minutes fiddling around with it to get used to it. Like, even that, I don't really feel the strings. I have to go by muscle memory or even look to see where my fingers are going. They're thin enough that I'm so not used to strings this thin. And if you're used to thicker gauge strings, like a lot of people are, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Just so you can feel the strings. yeah, it takes me a minute when I pick it up. Like before I started shooting this video, I had to fiddle around with it a couple minutes just to get used to it. And even now, I'm fumbling a bit. If you're used to them, once you get used to them, they're great. But if you're not used to them, it really does take a hot minute to acclimatize yourself to them. That is the downside, right? If you're used to thicker strings, you really have to get acclimatized to the thinner ones. Once you are, and I imagine if you just play 7-gauge strings on your electric guitars, over time you're going to get used to them and it's going to be the normal thing. For me, I don't usually. I just use them for certain things. I only put them on the one guitar. So when I play other guitars, I'm playing 9s and 10s. And that's what I'm used to. So with these, I'm not used to it. And, you know, if you play acoustic a lot, your fingers get really, really thick. The calluses get really thick from playing acoustic guitar, especially with, you know, the thicker gauge strings. You just get used to it. And then you can't even feel these. But overall, I'd say they won't make you a better guitarist, but they'll make you better at what you do when you get used to them. Because it really is easier to play certain riffs. Like I said, you can get the action a little bit lower, and you can play a little bit faster, you know? Yeah, it just seems like it's faster and smoother and easier. And that's just, you know, that's pretty cool. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll make you a better guitarist, right? Get good at what you're used to and then try some 7-gauge strings. See how that helps you. But yeah, just as a general overall, having played these for a while, every time I pick up this guitar, which has my 7-gauge strings on it, I have to get used to it for a couple of minutes. And then it gets, once I acclimatize myself to it, I can do more acrobatics. And yeah, as far as the bending goes, you know, like, you can bend further, like way further. Yeah, right. But that's kind of par for the course. Thinner strings, deeper bends. There you go. Like I said, I am fumbling a little bit because I'm really not used to them. I don't play them that much. But yeah, if you're thinking of trying 7-gauge strings, I'd say try them. Definitely try them. Throw them on one of your guitars. If you only have one guitar, throw them on there. See what you think. You can go back to something thicker later. And, you know, rock on, baby. Yeah, I like them. I just have to get used to them. You know, takes me a couple minutes. But you guys check them out, man. Check out some 7-gauges. Give them a shot. See what you think. Put it in the comments below, man. Have you tried them out? How did they work for you? What did you think, man? So, it's different. I'll give you that. It doesn't seem like a different gauge of strings would be that different. But really, going from like 10s down to 7s was a big change for me. It really did make a huge difference. And it feels way different. But hey, I love you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Hit subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. This is just one of many really cool videos that I do about guitars, and I do songs. I do all kinds of cool shit. So I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.